everyone, Tamba Ramba, also known as Tammy Klinger, back with you today to share this page. So as promised, if you watch my videos regularly, my last video that I did for Art by Marlene, I created this background page. So if you want to see how I started this page, I suggest you go back and look at the video just before this one. So because this was my original plan to use this background, but it just didn't work, so I tossed it to the side and did something else. So as I promised in that video, I wasn't going to throw this page out. I will come back and fight and keep layering and keep going and save it. So that's what I'm doing here. So basically I've grabbed the page and I started. It was quite pastel-y and soft, and for those of you who know me, that's not really me. I like bold and bright colours, so I thought, right, let's grab that new royal, that gorgeous deep purple, and put some purple paint along the top and just let it drip down the page. And so I did that with I used royal, I used some Kissy, which is the hot pink, and I used cheesy, which is the bright yellow, and then I actually added some Smurf, which is the blue. I can't remember if that's Smurf or Sky, I'm sorry. Anyway, I've created quite a much bolder background there, and then I've come in with some white paint as well, which is the lace, and I've actually added a little bit to the background just to cover up some of the sort of pastel-y drips, but I also then used my finger to wipe it over the paint once the paint was dry, and then you can see I've come in with the stencil. So that one's designed by Marlene for the Crafters Workshop, and just removed the white back off of the paint through the stencil. So I've used a wet baby wipe to wipe it back through. So I kind of just did that in a couple of sections, and straight away that began to help. Okay, so then I came in with some mark making on top of that. So I again used the same colours. I used the Kissy and I used the cheesy just to do some mark making with Marlene's brushes. Now, my apologies for the sun and the shadows that's coming over. I have had a couple of really busy weeks and I've only been able to create late in the afternoon. So hopefully that will change very soon. I'm determined that I'll get that morning creating in where I get beautiful light in my studio. Okay, so anyway, then I did go in and I added some of that punk, which is one of my if you need a purple in your life, we all need purple in our life, but get that punk. It is just awesome. It's one of the neons, but I use it in every single page I do. I love the way it combines with other colours as well. So I've added a little bit of that and let that drip down the page, and also where some of that hot pink neon was in the background, instead of because I had sort of been trying to cover it up, so instead of doing that, I just decided to go with it and did a little bit of more mark making with that colour, and so it looks like it was meant to be there. It doesn't look forced. Okay, so then the bit I've missed, because I've been jabbering on, is to grab out one of the new stencils from her Back to Nature range, and I used the flower stamp. So what I did is I wanted to create a trail coming down my page. So I started at the top and made sure it was coming off of the page, and then I came in from the side as well. Now you'll see I purposely left a gap where I'm going to put my journaling and title, which I'll do in just a minute. But I also, out of that same stamp set, there's a couple of little backgroundy stamps. So there was a little dotty one, so I've used that in the background, and I've also used the other one, which was like it's like sort of the inside of a flower, like flower stamens. So I didn't stamp it perfectly, I just pressed it onto parts. And I really like how that came up. So then I grabbed some black paint and I just did a border around the edge with my black paint, just using my finger. And then I've come in with some of Marlene's rub-ons, and this one spoke to me straight away, that blah blah, because I thought, oh, this page was a disaster from the very beginning, but I think I've managed to save it. So I basically put the rub on in the centre, and then just using my black paint pens, I've come in and written, when life gives you blah blah, just paint over it. And I just thought, yeah, that goes perfectly. It's how I feel about my art journal pages. It's how I feel about life a lot of the time. So then I just grabbed a paint pen and flicked some black splatters on, and you'll see I just added a couple more stamps there. So now you'll see some close-ups where you'll see a bit more of that stamping in the background, and I love it. I love the depth of colour that comes from the layering and from the fixing. So don't give up, everyone.